I really love this record. A lot. Like, so much. Hi everyone, it's Davey from Endlessly Said. This is AFI Records, the final part 3. So this is covering all the records that just predate Sing the Sorrow right up until Burials. So this is made in 2016. If AFI brought out anything since, then I'll talk about it in my regular record update vlogs. Let's get started. So the first record is this. This is a picture disc from Hot Topic called Now the World, and it has Reivers music on it as well. So this was released before Sing the Sorrow came out. It was kind of a little overlap in between the Art of Drowning record and the Sing the Sorrow record. I love these songs. These are AFI almost perfect for me. So really, really great songs that were recorded just at the end of the Art of Drowning sessions, or I believe just before the Sing the Sorrow sessions. This record video also involves a lot of costume changes. As I mentioned in the previous videos, I have a lot of AFI shirts and I thought I'd show you them all while I'm recording the video. Next record is this. This is a Girls Not Grey promo 7-inch. This was handed out at a show that they were playing before the Sing the Sorrow record was released. It's on red vinyl with a large hole, so it's like a traditional single. This copy is signed by all the band and I'm really happy that I got this. Some of the AFI records I have got are from eBay and from other AFI fans that we traded on message boards. This is going back well over 10 years as well. This has Now the World, which is the song that was on that Hot Topic picture disc, but it also has Girls Not Grey, which is the first single of Sing the Sorrow. The next record is on grey vinyl, and it's the aptly named Girls Not Grey single. This is a UK only single. AFI had this really interesting thing with DreamWorks where they were releasing the singles only in the UK, which made it really interesting for American fans, obviously the band are from California, to pick those up. So they were having to get them on import, and I think paying around $10 a single, which is quite a lot. So these were really great for me. They were coming out in the UK at £3-4 a go, and this is great. It has The Hanging Garden as the B-side. The Hanging Garden was previously on the Fire Inside 7-inch. It was interesting that they were putting older songs as B-sides on this one, but yeah, a fun little single. The next single that they released from Sing the Sorrow, which I believe came after the full album, but certainly not before the vinyl was out, was The Leaving Song Part 2. AFI recorded The Leaving Song and The Leaving Song Part 2. They're in the wrong order on the album, but there's a lot of intrigue and investigation into that happened around the message boards. This comes out on green vinyl and it has a bit more of a traditional B-side. It has a demo of The Great Disappointment, which is actually really cool because it's a little bit harder hitting and like less slow burning than the full version. Fun fact about the Leaving Song Part 2 video, they are all moshing and it looks like there's straight edge kids trying to beat up people with drugs. They're all moshing to Hatebreed and Sick of It All. They're not moshing to AFI. Although, go hard for The Leaving Song Part 2 because if you listen to it, it's just killer breakdowns straight through, even if it has got glamorous, high-pitched vocals over it. So the next record is the album, Sing the Sorrow. Sing the Sorrow is my favourite album of all time. I make no bones about this. AFI my favourite band, Sing the Sorrow is my favourite album, and for me, it's perfect. It's got songs on there that wouldn't be singles, but songs that have such a place within the album. My favourite tracks on there are actually This Time Imperfect, which is the final track, which isn't technically listed, but appeared on the CD version as a listed track. The vinyl itself is a double LP that comes out on clear red vinyl, and this one was limited to 5,000 copies. I know that there are copies out there. They typically go for around £50 to £70, around I guess $60 to $80. Other than This Time Imperfect, my other favourite song on there is Death of Seasons, which is just such a perfect song for demonstrating exactly what AFI can do. It's a straight up hardcore song with electronic influences and it's just great. It's got a drawn out chorus and a fade out that just makes your heart break. I could talk about Sing the Sorrow for a long time and I might make another video just about how much I love it, but for now I'll leave it at that. Go get it. So post 2003, things got kind of interesting for AFI. I've long been into the band at this point, so since 2000 was about my entry point, which I mentioned in the last video in part 2. But around 2005, 2006, something started stirring with alternative music, and whether it was just MySpace exploding or people coining the term emo as a new modern phrase, something happened for AFI and they got huge. Precurse this, we have another hot topic 10-inch. This is the Miss Murder 10-inch, which has a B-side of Rabbits Are Roadkill on Route 37. This is a song that was recorded as part of the Decemberunderground sessions, but then appeared on some of the Sing the Sorrow CD releases as well, and also appeared on some of the Decemberunderground bits too. There's a complete image change here. Theives got a brand new haircut, the band are looking tighter and more refined. They've really embraced the electronic side that they've got, and the melody is coming through so much more on the releases that are coming out. Now, following on from that 10-inch, there was a 7-inch release for Miss Murder as well. So this came out on another picture disc. This is a 7-inch with the B-side Don't Change. Don't Change is an INXS song, and it was a really beautiful cover, really calm, melancholic, really, really great melody going through that, and Davies' vocals just were the star point of that. So the next release was another picture disc 7-inch. It seemed at this point for the band they were releasing their singles on these picture discs as they seem to be a lot more popular, something a little bit more unique, and something in UK music industry seemed to be happening quite a lot with singles or just those special editions that weren't the actual album. So this is the Love Like Winter 7-inch. Love Like Winter was the second single from Decemberunderground, and for me a much more favoured single than Miss Murder. So the next record to talk about is actually Decemberunderground itself, and I have this in two versions. The first is a 7-inch box set, and this box set was released with 2 songs on each 7-inch, so 1 on each. There are 6 7-inches in total. Each has one of the band members' face on there, and the extra one has Smith Puget's face, which is Jade's brother, and they're all clear vinyl, which is a really lovely way of presenting this record. I think that the 7-inch box set is definitely just there for collectors that like vinyl. I've seen other bands do this or collect 7 inches together, but it's an interesting way of putting the record together in a way that looks really appealing for vinyl collectors. That being said, when you get to Decemberunderground, the album, the vinyl release isn't actually that good. So the 12-inch vinyl release for Decemberunderground is just on black vinyl. It's a gatefold that seems to have the vinyl on the wrong side of the record. I always think it should be on the right-hand side of the record, not on the left-hand side. The songs are all there, it sounds fine, it's not heavyweight or anything. My favourite songs on Decemberunderground are The Interview, and I really love Endlessly She Said. Now, for those of you that are watching this vlog and thinking, hold on, did you just say your username? No, I didn't. My username is Endlessly He Said, and it is from the song Endlessly She Said. I had those words tattooed on me a little while ago and got them covered up, but AFI tattoos abound over here. Do you remember the last time you saw AFI? Well, I got this shirt the last time I saw them, and I was a size medium. This is a little tight on me right now. Next record is the Medicate 7-inches. So this was released with 2 7-inches that you could buy separately, and then you can put them together in this little case that made up a double 7-inch. So it's got a track listing for the whole collection of 7-inches on one of the 7-inches. So it has Medicate twice, which is ironically at 4 minutes 20. So I guess for those stoners out there, Medicate 420. The B-sides on this are real B-sides from the Crash Love sessions, and this one has Carcinogen Crush and Ether. These were really interesting B-sides because they were ones that were listed previously in other records and you had no idea where they existed along the way. And I think they are from the Sing the Sorrow and Decemberunderground sessions, or maybe there were track listings that just were put out there that were to confuse and they've just existed for a while and not been recorded. Medicate is a fine song, and I think it's a good song to lead off with as a single. Probably not my favourite on the record, but it's a good song. The next single from the Crash Love record is Beautiful Thieves. Beautiful Thieves was only released as a limited 500 run 7-inch, and this is something that took me a little while to get hold of. Even though it was only out there for £10–15, I really wanted this. It's a single side etched 7-inch, so the other side has this etching on it, and Beautiful Thieves is just the one song on there. It's definitely a collector's 7-inch and one for those that are, like me, a little obsessed about the AFI records. The next album is Crash Love. For a lot of AFI fans, this is the one that's most disputed. I think this is a lot of fans' favourite record because it was their entry point when it came out in 2009. But for a lot of fans, this is the album they find the weakest. For me, I don't think it's their weakest record, it's just a different kind of music. They definitely progressed and moved away from that very glamorized, almost emo-looking, stylized haircut stuff, and then had this more like upfront pop sensibilities rock sound, which was a bit of a departure from having quite a lot of aggression and fury on Decemberunderground, even if that's a really polished sound, and such a massive departure from the early records that were out on Nitro Records as well. My favourite songs on this are Okay I Feel Better Now and I'm Trying Very Hard to Be Here. This is quite an emotional record, and it comes over like that too, where the band are generating this sound which is really uplifting and almost anthemic in places, but it's also got this really sad tone through it as well. This is about the time that Davey was starting to put together a book, and he was making this sort of pop kids, like almost like story, and it felt like a lot of the songs around this definitely had a bit of a soundtrack to that book. So the last record I have to talk about is the most recent record, Burial. I have two versions of Burials, one on the original black vinyl and one that was the mail order version only. Burials is the record that I was probably most excited about AFI releasing. It wasn't Sing the Sorrow Going On from Art of Drowning. This is me as a grown-up AFI fan expecting new music, and for a lot of people that have grown up with AFI at that point, Burials is a great record and it's got some really good songs on it. For those that didn't like the record, I'd say just listen to it. It might be a grower for you. The songs aren't immediate and some of them are very deeply layered, and there's a lot going on in there. You only have to listen to songs like Wild, which is one of the sort of fastest, most immediate songs on the record, to see all of that layering going on in there. And you can tell that their 80s pop influence is coming through in such a big way, and they're incorporating that into this darker. My favourite songs on this are Greater Than 84 and The Face Beneath the Waves. I really like the darker songs on this record, and they really come through. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm excited for what AFI has up next. I know that they have new music that they're sitting on and waiting to release. I'm hoping that will come out either early next year or at some point very, very, very soon. If you like this video, please check out the other ones if you haven't already, and thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up and comment below if you want to see record collections from any other bands. I've been thinking about other bands I'm totally obsessed with that I think would be really fun to do, but I'd really love to hear your thoughts based on what you've seen already. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!